If you're a green card holder or planning to become one, there's important information you need to know about your rights, responsibilities, and a significant change taking effect today, December 26, 2025. Whether you travel frequently, you're planning to apply for citizenship, or you simply want to protect your permanent resident status, the next few minutes could help you avoid common mistakes that trip up thousands of green card holders every year. Stay with me because I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to maintain your status and navigate the system successfully. Welcome to US Visa Updates. I'm here to give you accurate, reliable information about US immigration based on official sources. Today, we're covering the essential information every green card holder should know: your rights and responsibilities as a permanent resident, important travel guidelines, tax obligations, and a major biometric collection change that just went into effect. This isn't about scare tactics or misinformation. This is about giving you the facts you need to make informed decisions about your immigration status. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's expected of you as a green card holder and how to avoid the most common pitfalls. Let's dive in. Section 1. Understanding your green card status. Let's start with the basics. When you receive a green card, you become a lawful permanent resident of the United States. This is a significant legal status that comes with both rights and responsibilities. As a permanent resident, you have the right to live permanently in the United States, provided you don't commit any actions that would make you removable under immigration law, work in the United States at any legal work of your qualification and choosing, and be protected by all laws of the United States, your state of residence, and local jurisdictions. But with these rights come important responsibilities. You're required to obey all federal, state, and local laws. You must file your income tax returns and report your income to the U.S. Internal Revenue Service and state taxing authorities. If you're a male between ages 18 and 25, you must register with Selective Service. One crucial thing to understand: permanent residence means the United States should be your primary home. While you can travel abroad, you need to maintain genuine ties to the U.S. and demonstrate that you intend to live here permanently. This is where many green card holders run into trouble. So, let's talk about travel. Section 2. Travel guidelines for green card holders. Permanent residents are free to travel outside the United States, and temporary or brief travel usually does not affect your permanent resident status. However, the key word here is temporary. Extended absences can create problems. Here's what you need to know about the 6-month guideline. As a green card holder, you can travel and stay outside the United States for a period of up to 6 months without losing your permanent resident status. Trips under 6 months are considered safe and temporary. However, once you exceed 6 months abroad, USCIS may start questioning whether you truly intend to maintain permanent residence in the United States. You won't automatically lose your green card, but you may face additional scrutiny when you return. Officers at the port of entry might ask about the purpose of your trip, your ties to the United States, and your intentions. If you stay abroad for more than 1 year without obtaining a re-entry permit, you're at serious risk of being found to have abandoned your permanent resident status. If it is determined that you did not intend to make the United States your permanent home, you will be found to have abandoned your permanent resident status. So, what should you do if you need to be abroad for an extended period? The solution is a re-entry permit. A green card holder must file Form I-131 to apply for a re-entry permit, and this needs to be done before traveling out of the country. This permit allows you to stay outside the U.S. for up to 2 years without your absence being considered abandonment of your status. Here's the critical part. You must apply for the re-entry permit while you're physically in the United States. You'll need to complete biometrics, which can only be done in the U.S. Plan ahead if you know you'll be traveling for an extended period. To protect yourself, document your ties to the United States. Keep evidence of your U.S. residence, such as lease agreements or mortgage documents, utility bills, bank statements, employment letters, and evidence of family members living in the U.S. If questioned at the border, this documentation demonstrates your intent to maintain permanent residence. Section 3. Tax obligations. Let's talk about taxes because this is non-negotiable. As a green card holder, you're treated as a U.S. resident for tax purposes. This means you must file U.S. tax returns on your worldwide income every single year, even if you're living abroad, even if you don't owe any tax, and even if you have no income. Many green card holders don't realize this applies even when they're outside the United States. Green card holders are required to file their income tax returns and report their income to the U.S. Internal Revenue Service and state taxing authorities. Failure to file can have serious immigration consequences, not just tax penalties. When you apply for U.S. citizenship, USCIS will review your tax filing history. If you haven't been filing, it can result in denial of your naturalization application. Additionally, failing to file taxes can be used as evidence that you don't consider the United States your permanent home, which could jeopardize your green card status itself. If you're behind on taxes, work with a qualified tax professional immediately to get compliant. The IRS has programs that allow people to catch up on unfiled returns. It's much better to address this proactively than to have it discovered during an immigration process. Section 4. The path to citizenship. Many green card holders eventually want to become U.S. citizens. Understanding the requirements can help you plan ahead. Generally, you can apply for citizenship after being a permanent resident for 5 years. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, this period is reduced to 3 years. But there's more to it than just time. An applicant for naturalization has the burden of establishing that he or she has complied with the continuous residence requirement. This is where travel becomes important again. An absence from the United States for a continuous period of 1 year or more during the period for which continuous residence is required will automatically break the continuity of residence. Trips of more than 6 months but less than a year create a presumption that you've broken continuous residence, though you may be able to overcome this presumption with evidence. Additionally, you need to demonstrate physical presence in the United States. For the 5-year requirement, you need at least 30 months of actual physical presence. For the 3-year requirement, if married to a U.S. citizen, you need at least 18 months. The citizenship test has also become more comprehensive. You'll need to demonstrate English language ability and knowledge of U.S. history and civics. More importantly, the interview now involves detailed questioning about your entire time as a green card holder, including your travels, employment history, tax filings, and any interactions with law enforcement. My advice, if you've been a green card holder for the required period and you meet the eligibility requirements, consider applying for citizenship. Once you're a U.S. citizen, you don't need to worry about travel restrictions, abandonment issues, or green card renewal. Citizenship provides the most secure immigration status possible. Section 5, Important, December 26, 2025, Biometric Update. Now, let's discuss the significant change that took effect today, December 26, 2025. The final rule, effective December 26, 2025, amends existing DHS regulations to authorize U.S. Customs and Border Protection to collect facial biometrics from all non-citizens upon entry and exit at airports, land ports, seaports, and other authorized points of departure. What does this mean for you? Every time you enter or leave the United States, you'll have your photograph taken using facial recognition technology. Beginning December 26, 2025, DHS will begin photographing all non-citizens anytime they enter or depart the U.S., including green card holders. This applies at all ports of entry, airports, land border crossings, and seaports. The system uses facial comparison technology to verify your identity by matching your live photo against photos in government databases, including your passport photo and immigration records. This removes prior exemptions, including diplomats and most Canadian visitors. It also removes limitations on pilot programs and expands biometric collection to new transportation modalities, including sea exit, private aircraft, vehicle entry-exit, and pedestrian exit. Previously, children under 14 and adults over 79 were exempt from biometric collection. These age exemptions have been removed under the new rule. The stated purpose is to enhance security, track visa overstays more accurately, prevent document fraud, and detect individuals who attempt to use fraudulent documents. According to DHS, the facial recognition technology is highly accurate with a match rate exceeding 98%. What should you expect? The process is designed to be quick, usually taking just a few seconds. When you arrive at a port of entry or prepare to depart, you'll be directed to look at a camera. The system captures your image and compares it to your records. If there's a match, you'll proceed normally. If the system can't match you, an officer will conduct a manual review of your documents. As a green card holder, you cannot opt out of this biometric collection. U.S. citizens may opt out and request manual passport inspection instead, but this option is not available to permanent residents or other non-citizens. The implementation will be phased over the next 3 to 5 years, but the rule is now in effect and will be gradually expanded to all ports of entry nationwide. Section 6. Other important compliance matters. Beyond travel and taxes, there are other compliance requirements you need to know about. First, address updates. Every time you move, you must update your address with USCIS within 10 days using Form AR11. This can be done online and takes just a few minutes. Why is this so important? Because USCIS sends important notices to your address on file. If you miss a notice about a required biometrics appointment or an interview because it went to an old address, you could face serious consequences. Second, carrying your green card. If you are a permanent resident age 18 or older, you are required to have a valid green card in your possession at all times. You should carry it with you whenever you're out. This is a legal requirement, and failing to carry your card can result in fines. Third, green card renewal. Your green card expires every 10 years. You should file Form I-90 to renew your card within 6 months of the expiration date. Starting May 29, 2025, all green card holders who need to renew or replace their permanent resident card must use the Form I-90 edition dated April 1, 2025. Make sure you're using the current version of the form. If you have a conditional green card, such as those based on marriage within 2 years of approval, remember that it's only valid for 2 years. To remove the conditions on your permanent resident status, you must file a petition within the 90-day period before your conditional green card expires. Missing this deadline can result in loss of your permanent resident status. Section 7. Avoiding criminal issues. I cannot stress this enough. Avoid any involvement with criminal activity. Certain crimes can make you deportable even as a permanent resident. Particularly serious are crimes involving moral turpitude, aggravated felonies, domestic violence offenses, drug crimes, and firearms violations. Even some misdemeanors can create immigration problems. If you're ever arrested or charged with a crime, you need 2 lawyers, a criminal defense attorney, and an immigration attorney. They need to work together because sometimes a plea deal that seems favorable from a criminal law perspective can be devastating for your immigration status. An experienced immigration attorney can advise your criminal lawyer about the immigration consequences of various plea options. The bottom line, stay out of trouble. Don't drive under the influence. Don't get involved in fights. Don't use illegal drugs. Don't engage in any form of fraud. Your permanent resident status can be revoked for criminal convictions, and in some cases, you could face deportation. Section 8. Practical action steps. Let me give you concrete action steps you can take right now to protect your green card status. First, create a travel log. Document every trip you take outside the United States, record departure dates, return dates, purpose of travel, and keep all supporting documents like boarding passes and passport stamps. If USCIS ever questions your physical presence or travel patterns, you'll have clear documentation. Second, File your taxes every year without exception. Even if you have no income, file a return. Keep copies of your tax returns and tax transcripts in a safe place. Third, maintain strong ties to the United States. Keep a U.S. bank account, maintain a U.S. driver's license, have a permanent address in the U.S., and if possible, have immediate family members living here. These factors demonstrate that America is truly your home. Fourth, update your address with USCIS every time you move. File Form AR-11 within 10 days of any change of address. Fifth, attend all USCIS appointments. If you receive a notice for biometrics or an interview, be there. If you absolutely cannot attend, file a request to reschedule immediately with valid documentation explaining why. Sixth, never lie on immigration forms or during immigration interviews. If you made a mistake on a previous application, correct it as soon as possible. USCIS can sometimes forgive honest mistakes that are corrected promptly, but they will not forgive fraud or intentional misrepresentation. Seventh, if you need to travel for an extended period, apply for a re-entry permit before you leave. Don't wait until you're already abroad. Eighth, consider applying for citizenship when you're eligible. As I mentioned earlier, citizenship provides the strongest protection and eliminates most of these concerns about travel, physical presence, and maintaining status. Section 9. Knowing when to get legal help. While I provide general information, there are situations where you absolutely need to consult with a qualified immigration attorney. Get legal help if you've been arrested or charged with any crime, if you've received a notice to appear for removal proceedings, if you've been outside the U.S. for more than 6 months and are concerned about abandonment issues, if you have unfiled tax returns from previous years, if you're applying for citizenship and have any complications in your history, or if you receive any notice from USCIS that you don't fully understand. Immigration law is complex, and your situation may have unique factors that require professional analysis. A qualified immigration attorney can review your specific circumstances and provide personalized advice. When looking for an attorney, make sure they're licensed to practice law and are in good standing with their state bar association. You can also look for attorneys who are members of the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Be cautious of notarios or immigration consultants who aren't licensed attorneys, as they cannot provide legal advice. Section 10. Recent policy updates. The immigration landscape continues to evolve. It's important to stay informed about changes that might affect you. We've already discussed the biometric entry-exit rule that took effect today. Additionally, there have been updates to green card renewal forms, changes to medical examination requirements for adjustment of status applications, and ongoing policy discussions about various aspects of immigration enforcement. In 2025, green card holders must use the updated Form I-90 for renewal starting May 29th and submit recent medical exams per new rules. The key point is this: immigration policy and procedures change regularly. What's true today might be different in 6 months or a year. That's why it's crucial to check official sources when you're planning to take any immigration-related action. Always rely on information from official U.S. government websites, particularly USCIS.gov, the State Department website, and CBP.gov. These are the authoritative sources for current requirements and procedures. Let me recap the most important points. As a green card holder, you have valuable rights, but you also have serious responsibilities. The United States should be your primary home. Keep your trips abroad under 6 months when possible. And if you need longer travel, get a re-entry permit in advance. File your U.S. taxes every single year. Maintain strong ties to the United States. Update your address promptly when you move. Attend all USCIS appointments. Stay out of legal trouble. And consider applying for citizenship when you become eligible. The new biometric entry-exit rule that took effect today means you'll be photographed every time you enter or leave the United States. This is now standard procedure for all green card holders and other non-citizens. The process is designed to be quick and is aimed at enhancing security and tracking. Thank you for watching US Visa Updates. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos about U.S. immigration, immigration law, and policy change regularly. And I'm here to help you stay informed with accurate, reliable information based on official sources. Share this video with any green card holders you know who might benefit from this information. Leave a comment below if you have questions, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction for getting answers. Remember, maintaining your permanent resident status requires ongoing attention and compliance. Stay informed, follow the rules, and when in doubt, consult with a qualified immigration attorney. Until next time, this is U.S. Visa Updates. Stay informed, stay compliant, and protect your status.